All right, what a day of cricket we've had, and what a fine victory for the Indian cricket team. The chips were down, they were struggling at one point, 72 for 4, and from there on to not only go and win the third in the final ODI that was played in Manchester for the Indian team, but also to have done it in the circumstances that they did. And let's not forget, this was also the series decider, considering the series was tied at 1-all between India and England. Let me give you a bit of a trivia now. Why is this series very important? And we'll get down to the details of the game and the way the Indian team won this. Last time India went to England and did not lose a everything that they performed there and won every series that they did well was way back in 1986. That was the time when they won the Test series. They also drew the ODI series. Since then, India have gone to England plenty of times, but they've had to lose one series or the other. They may have won the Test series, but lost the white ball series. Now, this has happened for the very first time since 1986 that India went on that England tour and have not come back without winning all series, undefeated as far as series are concerned. Remember, the Test series were tied, even though the Test series resumed after a gap of 10 months. After that, they won the T20I series and have now won the one-day series as well. Joining me, my colleague Rahul Rawat, and we'll discuss this entire match threadbare as well as the series. Let's start with the performer of the match, Rahul. Rishabh Pant gets his first ever one-day international 125 of 113 deliveries. For him personally, Rahul, this must be a very important knock. Not only has he helped India win this match and this series, but the knives were out for Rishabh Pant in white ball cricket. He's finally come good. He's finally playing up to potential, you'd say.
Well, absolutely, Nikhil, you've taken words out of my mouth because, as you said, knives were out. People were questioning his place time and again in white ball format, and also the T20 World Cup is just 3 months away. This should actually do his confidence a world of good. Especially the situation that India were in. He's been handed a responsibility. He has been promoted up the order. Surya Kumar Yadav is batting below Rishabh Pant. He's been promoted to number 4, was given a responsibility. India was 74 for 4, and it seemed that all was over. Nikhil, in the recent past also, you would remember rarely, the middle order, if your top 3 is dismissed early, you would rarely go on to win a match, especially a match like this. You are chasing 260 runs, you are already 76 for 4, and it's a final. It's a deciding third and final match of the series. So for Rishabh Pant, this must be very, very satisfying, and this should actually do a world of good to his confidence and also to the people who are there in the dressing room. Also to the people who have selected Rishabh Pant. They've persisted with Rishabh Pant because they also have had to deal with a lot of questions because a lot of people have often said that Rishabh Pant, you have the quality of Ishan Kishan in that lineup. You have somebody like Dinesh Karthik, but you've persisted with Rishabh Pant maybe for days like this. He is an impactful player. We've seen that in white jersey for Rishabh Pant. He's done it so often in Test cricket and also in ODIs. Maybe this is a start of a new era as far as Rishabh Pant is concerned in white ball cricket. A responsible Rishabh Pant delivering at the big stage.
Right. The other thing that's very interesting to note, and I'll get to Hardik Pandya. He's also a star of this match. I'll get to him a little later. But just sticking on with Rishabh Pant at the moment, what's really heartening to see today, Rahul, and we've been debating about this for a very long time, that I think Rishabh Pant would get confused as to what his role was. On certain occasions, he would, throw cautions to the wind, play aggressive cricket. At certain times, he was told that, no, you have to be a bit circumspect, you have to be a bit careful, you have to finish games for him. Somewhere there, he was getting caught up as to what his right approach would be. Today, what was heartening to see, you got to see both approaches from Rishabh Pant. You saw him play with a lot of careful shots. He was, mindful of the fact that India is chasing a big total. So he was careful while building a partnership with Hardik Pandya. Then you also saw the other Rishabh Pant who told you that, listen, he could take any bowlers to the cleaner, as he showed, hitting 5 fours in 1 over towards the end of the innings. So he shifted gear. Is this the way Indian fans and for the benefit of the Indian cricket, this is the right way for Rishabh Pant to continue playing?
Well, Nikhil, often we would hear a lot of people, they would say best way for Rishabh Pant to play is he should actually play his natural game. But what is a natural game? What Rishabh Pant has done today comes with experience. The more you play, the more you learn. Every day you go out to play, you learn something or the other. Rishabh Pant, for all these years that the team management has backed him, they've realized the potential in Rishabh Pant, and that is the reason why he's there, why today he has delivered at the big stage. You said, because at that time, a lot of people. Already you had lost 4 wickets. Maybe if Rishabh Pant would have played a rash shot and he would have been dismissed, people would have said, the top three failed, the Indian team, the lower order crumbled. It has happened so often in the past. But today, as you rightly said, he constructed his innings right from word go. He settled down nicely, and thereafter with Hardik Pandya, and Hardik Pandya was the aggressor right from the start. For somebody like Rishabh Pant, who does not like to curb his natural instinct, it was very heartening to see the way he batted today. It seemed as if an experienced batsman was playing there. There were a few mix up potential mix-up that could have resulted in a run-out, but that didn't happen. And Hardik Pandya, because the stump mic could catch whatever they were talking in between, it seemed after a point they were enjoying. They knew they had to bide their time. They negotiated the first few overs that they played together, and thereafter it was a belter of a track, and they knew. So that is so. The more you play, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more comfortable you become. And today, I thought we saw a very comfortable Rishabh Pant out there.
I'll get to Hardik Pandya too. What an exciting player he's turning out to be for the Indian cricket team ever since he's come back from that extended break that he had because of the injury. But let's talk about the victory as such. And I mentioned right at the start of our broadcast, Rahul, why this victory is so special. It doesn't happen very often that India travels overseas and then comes undefeated across formats in a series like they've managed to do this time around. But just this particular win, does it? I mean, for me, it took me back to that NatWest series final win. And I know we recently celebrated 2 decades of that NatWest series win. I know this wasn't a 300 plus target, but India were in a similar situation. This was the decider, kind of a final like NatWest was. And then chips were down. You lost the top order very, very quickly. Some very established player and then two young players, relatively young compared to the top order in Rishabh Pant, Hardik Pandya. Did it take you back to that time where Mohammad Kaif, Yuvraj Singh came together, took you across the line in a very crucial final? This was the decider, and this time you had the protagonist in Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya.
Well, quite similar, but Nikhil, but that NatWest final was something else. We talk about the 2001 series win against Australia at home. Maybe in times to come, in fact, even today also we now may have put the Australia series that we won recently in Australia after that Brisbane win. I think NatWest series win also gave the Indian players, the Indian team, teeth and to go out there and fight. So I wouldn't put it there, right up there, but still you can't just overlook this victory because this is actually a massive, massive achievement for the Indian team as well because you have backed a few youngsters. Hardik Pandya in the last few years, I don't know. See, we talk about Virat Kohli. Of course, he is also facing a lot of criticism of late because of those runs have not been coming, the way he's been getting dismissed. But I don't think the amount of criticism that Hardik Pandya has faced in the last few years. At times he would be injured. There would be times when he won't bowl in the matches. Then people would question why is he there in the Indian team? Why is he playing there if he can't bowl? But he's shown today. Of course, he picked up a 4 wicket haul also, a rarity, a 4 wicket haul and then a 50 plus score as well. But he also won you a game with the bat. Maybe he's won you the game, this game with the bat more than what he did with the ball. Also, that contribution cannot be overlooked. But I would still, if you ask me, NatWest series or this one, I'll say NatWest.
Right. Yes, of course. Two very big victories for India. NatWest series, alongside that, this particular series victory that has come against England. And remember, now people might just look at it and say that, listen, India, a very good team. And what's so great about this series victory? Don't forget, England are the current world champions. And before this series started, many had rated in England having better chances than India to win this white ball series. In fact, I remember comments being made that look at this batting lineup of England, it's scary. Look at their white ball team, it's scary. And the odds were stacked against this Indian team. For them to have come good the way they did, let's not forget they won the T20 series and have now won the ODI series as well. Let's talk about Hardik Pandya, and just let's talk about the maturity that he's shown, because that's that one standout feature, Rahul, that we've seen from Hardik Pandya ever since he's made that return. We saw it in the IPL when he captained his team to the IPL title, and we saw it once again in this particular match, because it was him who was the aggressor at a time where Rishabh Pant probably was trying to play the anchor role. They needed a partnership. Probably was the scenario something like where Hardik must have said, listen, I'm the man in form. I've been getting runs ever since the IPL. He's been amongst the runs. So he was playing at a strike rate of over 100, while Rishabh took his time and showed that partnership was there. So there was a lot of camaraderie. There was a lot of to and fro between them. So the partnership wasn't just by chance. A lot of planning clearly went into it.
Absolutely, and you use the word maturity. I think in the last 1.5 years, Hardik Pandya has matured a lot, and he has himself admitted. Of course, he has his own personal reasons also for that. But at this stage, Hardik Pandya to me seems to be a man possessed. If in fact the a few hours ago we were having a conversation on Sports Today, and I mentioned there, if you ask me, pick one player from this Indian team, I said I will pick Hardik Pandya. He can win you games with the ball, he can win you games with the bat, and he is an exceptional outfielder. He can effect those runouts with those direct hits. So he can do nothing wrong on that cricket field. Today, when you speak about when we talk about maturity in Hardik Pandya, there was a planning, not just when you say they were batting, when he was batting with Rishabh Pant with the ball also. Look at the barrage of bouncers that he bowled at Liam Livingstone. It was a battle of attrition. Who gives up first? And Hardik Pandya had the last laugh. He kept bowling those short deliveries to Livingston, and eventually, what happened? He got his execution absolutely right. He got that wicket, and that wicket may have changed the course of this game also to an extent, because that wicket led to another wicket, and that too by Hardik Pandya. So Hardik Pandya, if he can bowl, at his full tilt, he can bowl with say 140 Ks. That's what he's doing, and I think this is after a long time that we've seen Hardik Pandya bowl 7 overs in a match.